Welcome to the new Jakarta. A modern city that never sleeps. A dynamic metropolis that rivals the likes of Tokyo, Hong Kong, Seoul, or Singapore. Fueled by rapid economic growth, with an emerging upper middle class, Jakarta is becoming a beacon of lifestyle innovation for Indonesia and the world. But with a population of over 10 million and counting, Jakarta isn't just a city. It's a melting pot of cultures, cuisines and creativity where trends ebb and flow. From innovative, fast-moving food and beverage concepts that break new ground in concepts and flavours, to extraordinary cutting-edge fashion and entertainment, the city is a playground for those with vision and ambition. And at the forefront of this vibrant culture is a generation of young entrepreneurs who are redefining the identity and lifestyle of Jakarta and Indonesia. So join us in this episode of the Katalis Podcast as we meet three young visionaries in Jakarta's inventive lifestyle industry.
Hi, my name is Indra Mawira. I'm the co-founder of Zodiac. It's a lifestyle brand based in Jakarta. We run a club, a bar, a restaurant, a clothing line, and also a music platform. Started back in 2018. I graduated from Wesley College in Melbourne back in 2000. So to think about it, it's been 25 years almost. And it's always funny to see how Australia kind of influenced my life. It's been a great evolution over the past 25 years.
Hi, my name is Agnes. I'm the manager of Suma Jakarta, and Suma offers a fine dining experience that combines premium ingredients with East Asia cuisine. And I have always been interested in restaurant business, and my dream is to work in FNB Industry. And of course, my education at Cordon Bleu Sydney helped me move closer to achieving my goals.
Hello, my name is Theo, chef, owner and founder of LC Smokehouse. We bring American barbecue to Indonesia with a bit of twist. Cooking has always been my passion. Living, learning, and studying in Australia is giving me a lot of knowledge and helped me to develop my career.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. We've invited you here because of your achievements and how you have disrupted a market. When you're talking about the lifestyle industry, it's really about selling a state of mind. So what's your approach to ensure your vision is channeled through your products and or services?
So basically it's just following our passion, keep up to date with the current trends and, keep on preserving what you have and try to listen to what the market needs.
For me, I think we just need to remember why do we start doing this work, and after that, because I'm a manager, so I'm passionate about training my people, my staff. So my passion actually be their passion as well.
Yeah, I think for us, it's the most amazing thing to have your passion can be channeled to your products and services. And we're fortunate enough to have partners and team that are super passionate about Zodiac. We take the brand seriously. It's just not putting your logo, and when we invite collaborators, we really treat them as in they're like our partners. We do a lot of product launches. We have so many programs, so everything that it's very well thought, and everything that we do there is basically our passions, which is the most amazing thing.
So Theo, just picking up what you said earlier about the trend, related to that is the word hype, or the concept of something being a hype. Now in finance, hype is when the stock is in great demand, but in your line of work, what does hype mean? And this applies to all of you. Feel free to jump in.
When it comes down to food, I guess it's what's on the trend right now, and what most people probably saying what they're really craving on lately, or what's really like going around in the market. Like as a restaurant in LC Smokehouse, we try to follow the hype, but like not literally. You know, like we have our own approach towards it, but like we're trying to give a bit our own uniqueness, our own twist, like while maintaining those authenticity.
Yeah, I think the word hype. I mean, hype probably from my definition is just a trend, right? And especially nowadays with your phone in your pocket and you're looking at your phone like 20 hours a day. So there are just so many things that could become a trend. Access. I mean, in our line of business, of course, because we do the clothing as well, especially if you have access to hypebeast, you can see all kinds of trends. I think what we do is that we are aware of the trend, but we don't really have to follow the trend. I think we try to be like really authentic to our brand. Like we set our DNA and we set the tone, creating like the products that we think that people will buy. I think the products that we think it's cool, the products that we want to wear ourselves. Because a lot of times, I think what we notice as well, a lot of these hypes, they cannot sustain. I mean, especially now with the TikTok and everything.
But why follow the hype if you can create your own hype?
Yeah, exactly.
Be your own trendsetter, you know?
Yeah, which is the fun part, you know. I mean, when you do like so many things authentically and you stick to your brand, and you can create the hype yourself, you know, which is like that's fun.
Another keyword that we hear a lot in business these days is sustainability. Now, in what ways are you incorporating sustainability and ethical practices into your business model? Agnes, do you want to take it?
In terms of ingredients, we always source from the ethical, like producers. And for us, we also have edible garden. So we try as much as possible to use local for the, like the basics. But of course, even though like we use the premium ingredients, we make sure that our source is, doing the ethical things.
Well, if I may add, like like what Agnes says, is you're using locally produced, and also like you try to use like one single ingredient and try to like expand it to your best knowledge.
Yeah.
Like maybe from one source of meat, you turn it into like 3 different menus, stuff like that.
So almost no waste, basically.
Yes. Maybe like in a restaurant term, it's like from nose to tail kind of thing.
Or A to Z or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with both of you. I think that sustainability, especially with the local, I think is extremely important. But sometimes, when I think of sustainability, because I think the word can be used in so many different ways. I think lately, of course, the sustainability into the eco, the green stuff, which is like, I think it's really important. Like we've done, for instance, a collaboration with a brand from Bali called Indosol. Peace to Kai Stober, he's a OG in Bali. And he has Indosol, which is a flip-flop company, pretty much. I mean, they are maybe like one of the trendsetter in Bali. It's amazing, to do those kind of work, So it's from the rubber, and basically our sandals are made 100% from recycled rubber. But sometimes when I take sustainability as a word, I like to think more the process itself of sustainability. Like for instance, just like sustaining your business is just so hard. I was a professional and I'm moving to the business side. I realized like sustaining a business by itself is already so hard, So sometimes the word sustainability, you can use it in so many different ways. I think the ethical part, I think we just try to be responsible. We are still a small company, and maybe we cannot do as much as the maybe bigger corporates in terms of impacts, but the ethical thing that we try to do is even as small as responsible to your suppliers, because I'm from the finance side, of the business, it's like even like the ethical to your suppliers is super important, it's like you get your payment in time before you go to the ethical about looking into, I want to do the good stuff, the green stuff, it's like at the end of the day, you can do the green stuff, but if you don't pay your supplier in time, things like that, those kind of things that I try to incorporate into like our brands.
Some of us like maybe like think like it's all about the green and all the taking care of the environment. It's just like sometimes we need to be responsible as well with what we're producing, with who we are work with as well. Especially to the staff that working hard with us. We might not have a big team, but it's a part of our ethical things to give them enough rest, like a good rest where they can meet their families and friends. And also taking care of our suppliers.
So Indra, you spoke about collaboration before, and what's your experience in that space? And have you guys had any sort of collaborations with like-minded businesses from Australia?
For Zodiac especially, we do so many collaborations. I don't know how many collaborations we've done, over 100 with smaller brands, even with no brand, with individual, with whatever. So the spirit of our brand is about collaborations. And talking about Australia, actually we've done 2 or 3 collaborations with an Australian brand or establishment. One of them is Garbage TV in Perth, your hometown, Rob. Yeah, that was the.
It must be familiar.
Yeah. So we did a apparel collaboration, I think about 2 years ago. We sold it in Bali as well at the Escalier store. And another one we did actually when we opened Baresto is actually an establishment from Melbourne called Hope Street. I think Hope Street is probably the sort of trendsetter now in Melbourne. They have their own radio station, restaurants, and many other things. So we collaborate with them. I mean, it's very interesting to see. It's especially looking into my background. Although I was in Australia 25 years ago, I see that as an evolution. The first chain that I bought, wearing it, it's I don't wear it anymore. But those things, it's kind of influence. When I look back, those things really has certain influence into the evolution of where I think we are, where I am today. So right now we're talking to another Australian brand that we might collaborate in the foreseeable future.
For me, Alsis Smokehouse been doing several collaboration with some of the restaurants here. It certainly helps us to grow our business and brands. In terms of Australian relation, well, Agnes, thanks to her, there's a time we do a bit of a pop-up in her previous workplace, so it's a bit of Australian connection as well. So keep in touch as well with my alumni from my previous studies, which is good. It's always keep me up to date with the current events, with what's up with the current food trend.
Actually, my connection with Australia, my boss, which is my best friend, hi Rachel. So she's our executive chef in Suma. So I met her during those days when I live in Sydney. So pretty much it. And also my pastry chef, Ryan Kim, which is the owner of Fragment as well. He's also a LCB Sydney alumni. So yeah, we pretty much LCB Sydney circles.
Something it's so great to hear that these collaborations are happening between Indonesia and Australia. So yeah, it's great to hear.
Yeah.
In the context of Indonesia-Australia economic relations, how do you see the future of the F&B and lifestyle industry considering emerging intersections and closer trade ties?
I think it's gonna grow well. The market is getting closer and closer. The less boundaries that we have, transfer knowledge, transfer produce. Hopefully, we can, follow what the Australian able to do in terms of growing a cattle, growing of vegetables. Learning that sort of thing. It's gonna help us a lot especially in F&Bs. Hopefully, in a future years, we can be at the same level in terms of productivities, discipline, standard.
I want Indonesia to have a standard like Australia. I study in Australia, so I know HACCP and all the hygiene and stuff is really, really up there. And I want Indonesia to have the same standard. We want to elevate our tourism or F&B industry to that level.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's so much thing that still can be done. The transfer of knowledge, obviously, but I think we need probably to set something that can be done more sustained. In a way that maybe, Australia is really good in terms of services. It's we need to learn from them. How do we provide those kind of services to our customers, which is like, I think Indonesia, honestly speaking, is still a bit lacking. And on top of that, it's like there's so many things that I think Australia is much more advanced, not only in the clothing, but also like, especially in the food industry, I think Melbourne rising to the top. I think you talk to a lot of people, especially in the culinary business, that Melbourne is really innovative right now. Other than that, we can do maybe like small example, maybe winery, Like Australia has so much wines. It's like their natural wine is also like growing. I mean, we can maybe like do something in Bali. It's like where they bring, their skills. It's like they got. I mean, those things are something that we can really look into because we're such like very close. It's only a few hours away. Like personally, like 3, 4, 5. Yeah, exactly. Those partnership needs to be like stronger because right now I think there's a lot of partnerships, right? But sometimes I don't think it's quite there yet, especially in the lifestyle industry. Maybe like a lot of investments, right? But I think we don't necessarily only need the investments, but we need the know-how as well, It's like...
Moving on, as disruptors in the space, how do you maintain your competitive edge and stay ahead of the curve?
I think we just need to be updated, the trend again, or what can we do differently, like to help not only us, but other industry, like other friends in this industry?
Well, for me, I think you gotta stay up to date with the current trends. So, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you're following the hype, but be more sensitive about it. Maybe some economic changes can affect the business, or maybe you gotta do a bit of a shifting here and there.
We need to keep on thinking outside the box, but on top of that, you also need the right team to do it. You cannot do it on your own. You need to be connected. We try to build our network, not only in Indonesia. We're very strong with the communities. We are, Zodiac is not only a brand, but we're also a platform, Like in the first year, for instance, we did like 52 exhibitions. So it's like once a week. So we have like 52 collaborators. That's outside the music programs that we do like so many things. So I think that requires a lot of effort, especially you were being like a very small team. But I think that's the edge that we have. And we are super open to anyone that wants to work together as long as like it has the right DNA, It's like that's extremely important for us.
So finally, guys, what advice would you provide to potential Australian investors looking at Indonesia's lifestyle industry?
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. We need your money. We do need the money anyway. I think it's great. There are so many makers in Indonesia, but I think we're still lacking a bit of the infrastructure, right? I think not necessarily the money. I think the money is important, but I think there's a lot of money already channeled into the lifestyle industry, but I think in a lot of sense, we're still lacking the infrastructure. So I think for like Australian investors looking to invest in Indonesia, I think there's so many brands that you can invest in, and potentially these brands, if you got the right infrastructure, you can really expand these brands, not just inside Indonesia but also outside Indonesia.
I think for me, again, it's yes, we need the money, but I think if investor really wants to work with some brands, they need to have respect for the brand as well. So it maintain the the DNA, like Indra said.
So it's more like a bit of an IP transfer, almost like knowledge sharing as well.
Knowledge sharing, and also they just need to, when an investor pick a brand, they need to understand the brand, and they also need to believe in the brand. So they don't actually change the way, like the vision and the mission of the brand itself.
So there's mutual respect between.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind about what these people are doing. When you put some blood or money on it, meaning you are in a part of that system, then you need to focus on develop them, to grow them, not changing them. Some people just throw the money there and hopefully it grows. It's not like that, right? It's business. It needs a bit of a guidance. It needs a bit of maneuver and shifting in every bit of the way, because especially in lifestyle and F&B, it's dynamic. It's always changing. It's never gonna be the same. What happens today, it's not gonna be the same like tomorrow.
How optimistic are you in the potential of this lifestyle industry in Indonesia?
Super optimistic, because it's always growing. It's never ends. I mean, you open your restaurant today, and then within 2 weeks, there's gonna be a restaurant in there. There's gonna be another restaurant in there, like a coffee shop. It's just everywhere. And then it's just a matter of, only the stronger can survive, or the one who have, the unique selling point. That's what's gonna hold up, and
I mean, I'm super optimistic, but I think right now what we're seeing there is just it's very interesting to see who will survive, because right now there are so many brands, so many places, so many new establishments being opened, especially post-COVID, especially with the boom of e-commerce as well. But I think 80% of this business probably will not survive, right? And competition is getting a little bit harder as well. But generally speaking, I mean, we have a huge market, and that really already provide a stepping stone, for you to start your own business. It's just, how to create a business that can be sustained and stay authentic to your brand. I think that's the most important.
I'm very optimistic as well in this lifestyle or F&B industry, because the consumerism in globally is rising as well, and traveling is so much easier. It's cheaper as well. Indonesia have a visa on arrival, so pretty much everyone from the globally, from the world, can come to Indonesia. So it can boost the sales as well if talking about the business.
Excellent. So thanks to you, Agnes and Indra, for your time today. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to following how you guys progress.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for your time.